Hey, welcome to Bipolar Brilliance. This is going to be a short one. I know I say that a lot. I just want to acknowledge my privilege and speak a little bit about balance. So, obviously, somebody with bipolar disorder, balance is kind of a big part of what I need in life, let's just put it that way. And also, I've talked about being a Libra, so yeah, balance. That doesn't just apply to the body and brain, although that's certainly important, but also to a person's opinions and to this particular thing that has to do with me realizing some privilege that I have had in getting good treatment for bipolar disorder. So I realize that I speak a lot, kind of almost preaching the gospel of take the meds as the doctor prescribes, take the meds. And I do definitely stand by that. At the same time, it occurs to me that I have been very fortunate to have connected with some really excellent doctors, and that might not be everyone's story. And so the balance that I'm talking about is the ability to admit when you're wrong, or you may have been sort of mistaken, right? So I want to just acknowledge that just having that as a sweeping statement, I don't mean it to be like just blindly follow the doctor's opinion and don't ever seek a second opinion or try to find a different person if in your heart of hearts or even the people close to you might also perhaps agree. Doctors are fallible as well. So I don't go back on, like, I don't think that we should just take things willy-nilly or really like take it into our own hands, our prescribing. I don't recommend that. But it's always appropriate to seek a second and a third and even a fourth opinion. And to advocate for yourself. It's important for me to, on the one hand, the balance that I'm talking about is like to admit when I'm wrong or to admit when I'm in error. So that's me doing that. At the same time, I am personally and professionally working on this tendency to not own the knowledge and expertise that I do have. By one of them is a mentor of mine has pointed out to me a few months ago, and I've really tried to be mindful of it, is this tendency to say a bunch of things that have insight, wisdom, technical knowledge, all of the above, and then say, but I don't know. And just kind of that dismisses it out of hand. I feel that a part of that is the professional training that I've had as a health educator is the importance of admitting when you don't know something and not just making shit up. Because that can be really dangerous. At the same time, it is fair, it is empowering for me and for you, dear viewer, for me to own the things that I do know, because I do know a lot, even if I don't know it all, because who does? And neither does a doctor know it all. So anyway, I just want to just put this gratitude out there to the universe, to spirit, to nature, which, by the way, is an amazing healer, and does a hell of a lot more for me than, or in addition to, my meds. Let's just say that some days. So it's a synergistic process. But anyway, I am so grateful that I did connect with an excellent doctor. My first prescribing physician probably expedited my first manic episode. So that and that was when I didn't know I had bipolar disorder. That was when I just knew I had ADHD, and I was drinking with impunity and taking a hell of a lot of speed, not sleeping a lot. So that physician probably really should have recognized the hypomania showing up in me. So I guess that's the dangers of having not the best doctor. Then I went to a different doctor that was the person that diagnosed me with bipolar disorder, and I did get a second opinion and a third opinion. I've talked about that on this channel, and they all said that I had bipolar disorder, and I don't disagree. That was 13, 14 years, I don't know, a long time ago, really. Although I was definitely grown at that time. So there were those in my life that questioned that diagnosis. Then later I had a psychiatrist that wasn't that awesome either, that would basically kind of like say, how's it going, how you doing, and I would try to open up, and then this actually happened. Well, you know, we only have 20 minutes here, so what do you want? Do you want me to prescribe you Adderall? This was after I God, do you know my history? Like, I had a manic break with that ish. Point being, I then went and well, actually what happened after that is I didn't find another doctor, and I just did whatever the F I wanted, and I ended up institutionalized. And then I got connected with community mental health, and the psychiatrist that I was just happened to be assigned to, that happens to have decades of experience, that happens to be conservative without being closed-minded. That happened to be my psychiatrist for 10 years. When I first started going, I didn't love this doctor. I felt like I was always just getting the third degree. It was very dry. I think maybe after a year or two, she finally stopped asking me if I was hearing things or hearing voices or seeing things, because I think I finally was like, you know, I've never heard voices or seen things that weren't there, outside of the time that I saw an angel, but I think that was actually real. Anyway, so, and I think maybe then she might have asked me once a year or something, you know, like it probably had to, but, and I started to, we started to warm up to each other, and that particular doctor helped me to wean off of antidepressants, which I've gone back on since COVID, but you know, I think I'll be able to get off of them again. But in that doctor listened to me, that doctor respected me, that doctor did prescribe me stimulant medications, but like under way different circumstances and under the, you know, safely, and I was okay, and I didn't have any manic breaks, and she listened to me, and she took the time for me. And even though that meant that some patients, especially new ones, were really upset because they would wait in the lobby for a long time, you know, if you had like a crisis or a near crisis going on, like that doctor wasn't tapping at her watch saying, listen, this is a 15-minute med review, and that'll be $300, by the way, you know. So I am really fucking lucky. I'm privileged about that, even though, you know, like you could be too, because I didn't have any money. I went to the community mental health, and it didn't pay anything for it. So I guess I was lucky to be broken off at the time, because now I'm not that broke, and I have a big outstanding bill. I don't know why they call them outstanding, because they're really not that outstanding, but that's a whole nother story for another time. I said I was going to keep it short, so let's try to keep it under 10 minutes because I am going to have a walk. And you know, I do stand by the fact that medications taken exactly as the doctor prescribes are a key part of long-term stability and recovery for most of us with bipolar disorder. Maybe that won't always be the case. For me, that hasn't always been the case. It is the case right now. And it's okay. And being okay with it is like actually does a lot for my mental and physical well-being, not resisting the fact that I have to take some meds. And knowing also that in addition to that, there are certain things behaviorally, socially, that always, for me at least, work better than any medication. And that is basically spending time in nature, moving my body, having a mutual group support, social meetings, you know, kind of a tribe that I'm part of, and also taking a damn nap in the middle of the day, getting enough sleep at night. So sleep, exercise, nature, and social connection. I will also add to that meditation, artwork, and there's so many other things. That's basically kind of why I have a toolkit of things that I pull from. You know, I might not use every single one of them every day, but on a day like this, how could you not? So I hope you are having a beautiful, wonderful, blessed day, and that you remember that you have to take care of yourself first before you can even hope to take care of anyone else. So it isn't selfish. You've got to take care of yourself. Whatever that means for you today. So thanks for tuning in. If you like this, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, share it online, and subscribe. Turn that little alert on so you know when I upload new content. Bye now.